Hey y'all, welcome back to the Budget Sportsman. It is early. It is 4:45 in the morning. I'm sitting here in the parking lot of some public lands waiting for my buddy Nate from Average Jack Archery to show up so we can get after some turkeys. We're at a piece of public land where last year we came really close to getting it done. So far this year it's been a lot of pressure on this piece. We've kind of avoided it, but as season goes along, usually the pressure decreases. And if you're patient, you know where to look, you can usually find some gobbling birds.
Everything I've been hearing gobble earlier in the week has been later, not here, but otherwhere. We're used to hearing turkeys out in this creek bottom. This place has been getting a lot of pressure this year. Piece of public. Big logging road cuts around and circumnavigates it. We're a pretty good ways away from the parking lot. Hopefully if a turkey's down in here, we can get down in there without having to deal with other people. So.
Well, y'all, as you can see, it's fully light at this point. So far, no gobbles. Nate and I were sitting up this logging road a couple hundred yards for a while. Finally, we decided we should split up and cover some more ground. So he's back there probably 300-400 yards. I'm going to work up just another 100 yards or so probably. Last year, down in this creek bottom, we got into some turkeys because the ridge up top here gets a lot of hunting pressure right off the parking lot. But last year, down here, did not get much pressure. We got into a lot of gobbling turkeys. This is our first morning hunting all the way down here at first light, but pretty disappointing to not hear a thing. So we're going to stick it out for probably another 30 minutes or an hour. If we don't hear anything, we're going to head to another piece of public where we don't have as much experience, but it's a huge piece, and we should certainly be able to find a way to get away from some hunting pressure, maybe strike up a midday bird. So stick with us.
So, we have driven about a half hour away from the first spot. We're in a big piece of public, huge, here in north central PA. And we're on this logging road, snowmobile type road. We've already seen elk tracks and a whole bunch of turkey tracks. Looks like gobbler, jake tracks. And all these hollows kind of pitch down off this main road here. A lot of gas wells up here in north central PA. There's a gas well clear down in, several miles down in this road. So we're gonna call it up and down these hollows and see if we can't strike a bird this morning. There was nobody at this parking lot. We're talking 6 digits amount of acres that are through the state forest here in north central PA. So see if we can make one work.
With how loud that creek is, you probably won't hear it anyway.
Definitely on this side.
Well guys, we just messed up big time. We jumped out of the truck, dropped over the hill probably 150 yards, and we didn't take our guns or any of our gear because we haven't heard a gobble all morning. This was our last ditch effort. We got down there and a bird gobbled right below us. So we had to jump back up here. Nate's grabbing his gun, grab our seats, our vests, all that stuff, calls, and dive back in there. Wish us luck.
Let's take our time. We've got it.
see his van. There's more birds. I see at least 3.
We called in 2 toms. We think 2 hens.
Yeah, I think.
I think it was 2 hens. There was at least 4, if not 5 birds. They got about 60 yards away. We came down here and set up the decoy after we got him to gobble. He gobbled maybe 2 or 3 times to me, but it was obvious he wasn't super interested. And we found out why, because he came down here and strutted. Nate got some footage of that. Then there was a second tom with him, and they were between 50 and 60, just kind of stepping it off. And that's just a little bit too far. And it looked like it might be closer, but just knowing from experience that when it looks like it might be closer, it most likely isn't. And so we made the wise decision. The one I really only had a shot at for maybe a split second or two. The strutter, he was way down there. I never would have had a shot at him. But then we saw some other birds milling up in the cracks of this blowdown here, and we had debated getting up to this blowdown to look down over, but thankfully we hadn't, because we didn't realize with the sun's virtually in front of us, and when the sun's, it's just blaring down through here, and it's wide open. You could see for a mile. So if we had pushed up, even there's a big white oak down here about 25 yards. Even if we had pushed up to that white oak, we probably would have been busted. Whether we saw him bust us or not, we probably never would have gotten even the encounter.
Yeah, it seemed like the big thing that held us up was this. There's a dead fallen log right across there, and they looped around that. If they had just come straight for us without that log, we might have been.
Said, "Do you think we need to get up to that blowdown?" And if we had moved, if we shaved off, even if we shaved off 10 yards, when also one thing's true here, you can see it in the daylight. If we had moved up 10 yards, we would have been full bore sun. Like,
Yeah.
you can see where we are. We're in these evergreens here, nice and shaded, lots of good cover. They never spotted us. I think they came up, saw the decoy over here, and we're like, all right, well, we already have hens, so if she wants to join the party, she can join the party. We have yet to really get on a bird that hasn't had hens. I've been out almost every morning before work.
I really think there we made the best play we could. It didn't work out. We knew that log was going to be a problem, but we couldn't get closer to it without being spotted because they were over the crest of that hill.
And there's a big bench down here, big logging road, and whether or not we were going to have to cross that or stay up on this side, and we decided pretty quickly we're going to have to stay up here. What we didn't anticipate was that they were already on this side. They either were already here when they gobbled, or were very close to already crossing, coming up on this. It's a pretty big topo change. So I think it's good. We didn't hear any putting. I think they just kind of moved off. This is not a real big point. So once they move off, then they go out into big timber. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, at least we had some action. Until now, it's been total dead
Oh,
this morning.
complete dead. Nothing off the roofs, nothing.
Well, y'all, in Pennsylvania, at least until today, quitting time is noon, and right now it's probably 11:59.
12:03.
12:03. Anyways, you have some time to get out of the woods, so we're gonna hike up out of here, and we'll see you on the next one. Till next time, remember to get off YouTube, get outdoors into God's great creation.